So welcome back here to River City Slot Cars here in Margate in Queensland. We are wrapping up with our final class of racing for round 3 of the Queensland GT Championships. And the last class is Lexan GT3. Drivers making their way to the driver's stand. Marshals finding their positions. Of course, we've seen a great classes racing. Scale Autos up first of all. Second class of cars, we've just finished up with the Slotworks Porsche Cup. And of course, finishing off the day with Lexan GT3. Be interested to see how this all plays out. Ace Racing looking to do the clean sweep. As we get ready, heat 1. Underway. Oh, carnage already at the start. Oh, no more carnage up the end there too. So these guys just busy getting into a rhythm here. We've got a car off the top of the bridge there. We're going to do a track call. Got a car tracked under the bridge, so the marshal's just going to endeavour to get that. So it's easy just to do a quick track call. Just safer for everyone involved as we go back to green. We're over the top of the bridge. So we've got one of the cars having a bit of dramas there. So rough start to the start of Lexan GT3. Heat 1 of 8. Everyone now just needs to get themselves into a bit of a rhythm. Calm down, settle the nerves. Of course, the last class of racing we'll have today. Brilliant day's racing here at River City Slot Cars here in Margate in Queensland. If you're a local and you want to get involved, come down, have a chat to us. We race every Friday night. Of course, you too could be racing. If you're sitting at home watching and want to get involved, we'd love to have you along. Of course, if you don't live in Queensland, there are tracks Australia-wide. Be sure to send us a message at Slotstream TV on Facebook and we'll get you in touch with a track that'd be in your state and you too could be racing as well. Car off there just before the crossover. So at the moment, as much as things change, most things stay the same. Ace Racing leading this one at the moment. They've been in dominant form today, taking out the first 2 classes. Scale Auto, Slotworks Porsche Cup, and now leading Lexan GT3. One of the cars here having some dramas. Just trying to see who that was. Oh, looks like it's a Gold Coast. So we've already seen some dramas here, unfortunately. It's Team Turtle. So they're currently off track at the moment. So they're just doing some quick repairs to their car. Hopefully they can get back on track. No, it's not Team Turtle. So anyway, we saw that Narangba had dramas. We were going to track call. Had a car that had just jumped lanes there. We're ready to go green. Oh, good marshalling there. Oh, track call. No, yes. So on the front straight. Lucky enough there wasn't more cars involved there. So we go green again. Of course, big day racing here. Slot cars kicked off early this morning. And of course, around the world, of course, the Le Mans 24-hour is currently underway. Also racing Hidden Valley supercars as well. So not a bad day's racing, tell you. Slot cars on Slotstream TV, Le Mans around the world, and supercars at Hidden Valley. Doesn't get much better than that. We'll catch up with our race leader. So Werner behind the controller at the moment, just coming up to some lap traffic. Oh, I made the meal of that, got through, nice job. Very pacey, very quick. Him and Noel have been driving fantastic today. Like I said, they've taken out the first two classes and they're already leading in the first heat of Lexan GT3. Car's really dialed in. These guys have really been on it. Another track call under the bridge by the looks of it. Always a tricky spot when a car comes off under there. Of course, the safest thing to do is for the drivers and the marshals and everyone that's involved is just do a track call. Last thing you want to do is be shoving your hand in under there with some cars coming at you. At top of the bridge there. No, there's again underneath as well. That's the most action that bridge has seen today under there, I think. Try and chase down this pack of cars here. The Werner driving really well today. Teaming up with Noel. These guys clean swept round two. Of course, we'll got another track call. Oh, car off here at the end. Managed to get away with that. Up the end here, onto the front straight. Oh, nice and close there for Werner. It's carving up through the field. Tremendous pace there. Another car off here, just putting it back behind the lap counter. Good work by the marshal. So only 40 seconds left of the first heat before we slip into a lane change. We'll do a driver swap. Another track call. So we'll probably feel this may have a track call again. No, everyone's surprised. Sometimes it's hit and miss whether the counter will actually pick it up, and it's just a safety thing for the drivers to be put behind the counter again. But of course, if you've already been counted for a lap, the computer will catch you out. So no one makes a real advantage up the top of the bridge. Oh, everyone managed to get through. That's good. So dying seconds now before our lane change. Lane change. So we go through our leader at the moment. It's Ace Racing in first place. Second place is Narangba. They're only 3 laps behind. In third, Bullring from New South Wales. They're only 3 laps behind too. So there's nothing in it between Narangba and Bullring. Fourth place, Gold Coast Eagles. Fifth, Nikimoto. A little bit further back than they would have liked. Sixth place is Nikimoto. 7th is Rickshaw Racing. And 8th, it's Team Turtle. So it was Team Turtle that unfortunately got caught up in that incident. Had some car dramas, so we'll have to touch base with them and find out what happened with those cars. So we get ready for heat number 2. Here we go, green. Battle pack here. A couple of cars involved up the top of the bridge. Oh, side by side through turn 1. You don't want to do that too many times. That can be heart and mouth stuff because turn 1 is very fast. You're flat out through there. It's tricky when you start going side by side with someone. Not too bad if there's a lane difference between you, but when you're actually side by side, these cars do tend to get a little bit tail happy. And coming off of that speed, you can do some damage. So it's heart and mouth stuff there sometimes. Oh, side by side coming down the front straight. So heat 2 of 8 for the final class of racing here for round 3 of the GT Championships from River City Slot Cars. Who's our white team's having some dramas. So Rickshaw Racing, looks like their car's back on track now. So they're back to 7th place now, 12 laps behind the leader. We chase down our leader here, come down the front straight. Of course, our leader will be slowed a little bit because it's starting to work the gutter lanes. So currently in purple. Of course, there was no qualifying today. These things just get drawn out from the computer. You start where the computer decides you to start. I guess sometimes it works in these guys' favour, or car off down the end. It can work in your favour to get the gutter lanes over and done with at the start. Some people like to do them at the start. Some people like to do them in the end. Because you can use that advantage if you're in the middle lanes. You can sort of sprint away a little bit if you're faster in the middle lanes. Open up a bit of a margin and then worry about the gutter lanes. So everyone plays it out differently. But when it comes to this, when the computer decides your starting position, you sort of play it the way the cards are laid out. Our leader's just in cruise mode at the moment. Not too many dramas or cares in the world around him at the moment. We've got 2 laps up their sleeve, which is important. Nice to have that margin at the moment. We try and see what's going on through the rest of the field. So 4 minutes remaining in Heat 2. The final class of racing here for today for round 3 of the Queensland GT Championships. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast wherever you're watching around Australia or around the world. Feel free to let us know where you're watching. We had so many, we were so surprised about how many international viewers we had for the River City 12 hour a couple of months ago. It was great to see. And we appreciate all the feedback and the comments that we've had. It's been fantastic. Our aim is to make these races bigger and better. We're always looking to improve our broadcasts, so any feedback's welcome. Feel free to drop us a message at Slotstream TV on Facebook. Because we've already made some improvements from our first broadcast. This is only our second ever broadcast here on Slotstream TV. And always trying to make little improvements. Of course, this time round we've got the live timing up on the screen. The wireless microphone so we can go and chase down drivers for some interviews, which has been great, and a big thank you to those guys who've taken part and actually haven't had a chat with us. It really improves our broadcast, and we thoroughly enjoyed today. It's been so much fun. We check out through the results. It's still ace racing. Looking at clean sweep, they clean swept round 2, took out all 3 classes. Went on to the River City 12 hour, won that. Of course, things didn't go all their own way. They were leading for quite some time and they ran into some dramas, slipped back through the field and, of course, came back and took out the win in the end. And they pretty much picked up from where they left off from the 12 hour. They won the opening class of Scale Auto, dominated in Slotworks Porsche Cup, and, of course, now leading in Lexan GT3. Cars again spread out a little bit. 8 teams, 16 drivers taking on round 3. Car off there through the S's. Oh, just backed in the groove. Lucky not to get collected by another car. We were talking about earlier about how important it is for the drivers to have a bit of heads up and just make sure that they pay attention. Try to look forward a little bit from where you're actually racing, just so you can try and dodge some incidents on track. Because the last thing you want to do is get involved in an incident, because at the end of the day, you probably have a chance that you could damage your own car. So we're approaching the final minute of Heat 2. Lexan GT3, it's ace racing. 2 laps over Bullring have now moved into P2, so well done for the Bullring guys. There's only a lap and a half in it now. That's brilliant. And rounding out your 3 Gold Coast Eagles. They're in 4th. 3rd is Narangba. And they're only 2 laps behind as well. So this is anyone's race. 3 laps covering the top 4. And 5 laps covering the top 5. So early days. Heat 2 of 8. So we're heading to a lane change. So we'll quickly run through our details. It's Ace Racing in 1st. Only a lap in it now. Bullring right in it for P2. In 3rd, Narangba. 2 laps in it between them and 1st. So 2 laps covering the top 3. That's awesome. Awesome stuff. 3 laps covering the top 4. 5 laps covering the top 5. So at the moment, we go through driver changes. So a quick driver change. Guys will have a chat amongst themselves.
Thank you. Who do I pay money? You or Stanley?
Here we go. Heat 3 is underway for GT3. Nice little battle pack here. Up over the top of the bridge, into the final turn. Nice work for these guys. Keeping it fairly clean. Fast approaching the halfway mark of this race, so the last thing you want to do is get caught up in an incident, damage your car. It's so close between the top 5. So the early stage of this is probably the closest we've had for racing all day throughout the field, I should say. It's been brilliant. Nice and close. Up over the top here. Down the front straight. Brilliant stuff. So it's working all nice and close there, up into turn 1. Doing a good job. Try and see who else is battling out throughout the pack. This is mainly the thick of it, these 3 right here. It's going to get real close between these guys. Into the fast turn 1. Oh, someone's had it off. Top of the bridge. Gone to the red flag. So just a quick track call. Get this car back. Still 6.5 minutes left to go. Another car that made its way down the front straight. Is that going to be put behind the counter? So we'll get ready to go green. 6.5 minutes to go. Up over the top. Oh, still close between these 3. This is heart and mouth stuff. It doesn't take much for someone to have an incident here because they're so close. Oh, side by side. Heart and mouth stuff. And then the next 2 lanes are going to catch up to them too. So, this is going to get hairy. Starting to split out now. That's what they want to see. It's hold your breath stuff for these guys. Only takes one person to make a little mistake. Got our leader coming into it too, Werner. Trying to carve his way through this traffic. Great driving by all these cars involved. Awesome to watch. It looks like we got away with it as close as it was there at that stage. It was so easy for someone to come off and make a mistake, but everyone's managed to get away with it. These front 2 here just starting to pull away in the middle lane. So again, they're just stretching out a little bit. That's what Werner would like to see. The last thing he wants is a gaggle of cars that could possibly turn into some carnage. Gets pretty hard to dodge when you're locked into a lane. And these cars are travelling so fast. So we'll follow Werner a little bit. Our race leader, Ace Racing. Just working the gutter lanes at the moment. You can see he's just slowly just dropping back from the guys in the middle. But I don't think that'll bother him too much. These guys have still got very good pace on board. And the last thing they wanted to be doing is getting involved in someone else's accident. So it's actually working out quite well for them. They're just sort of run their own race, start a trouble, tick off the laps.
Yeah, I know, I'll be going home, probably have my phone on the morning, so I won't know where to look, but I'm trying to do a lot at the same time.
Something on the track there, one of the marshals has managed to pick up.
I appreciate that.
So that's good. Track still clear. Just under 4 minutes to go for heat 3 of 8. Final class of racing here at River City Slot Cars for round 3 of the GT Championships. Dominated by Ace Racing today. Looking to clean sweep with car off at the end there. Oh, in the wall again. Oh. We'll check out this battle back here. Oh, car off the end there. You see how dangerous it can be when you're on that inside part of the track and you come off, you actually scoot across 7 lanes of racetrack. So lucky not to get collected there. So brilliant stuff. These guys really getting into it now for heat 3 of 8. Coming up to 2.5 minutes to go before we do another driver change. Again at the top of the bridge. Same through the S's here. We're doing it at the moment. We're just trying to see the gap is now 1 lap in it. 7 seconds now between first and second. So great stuff from Bullring chasing down Werner, because they're both in the gutters. Werner's on black, Bullring's on white. So watch Bullring here. Hopefully I don't put the Mozza on Pagey again. Every time I seem to follow him today, he's been involved in some dramas. Looks like we've got a track call. Someone's... Oh, another track call. So ready to go, great. And we're underway. Under a minute and a half now to go for heat 3 of 8 for the final class of racing GT3. Lexan GT3 on track now for round 3 of the Queensland GT Championships. Ace Racing in strong form at the moment, but right behind him is Bullring. There's only a lap in it between these two. 7 seconds, 7.2 seconds now. So Pagey's on it, chasing him down. Just in a little bit of traffic here for Pagey. Coming down the top of the bridge. Oh, lost our camera there. Oh, Pagey's heading off. Oh, carnage up the end there. Hopefully there's no damage to his car. Again, commentator's curse. Got caught up in that. Thankfully, no damage. No, lane change. There we go. I was too busy paying attention to the racing. So we're going into lane change for heat 4 of 8. So we'll run through the positions. It's Ace Racing in first place. Narangba now have moved into second. There's only 1 lap difference, second and third, so Bullring and Narangba tied on the same lap. They're only 1 lap behind the leader, so this is an awesome close race. And 4th place, Gold Coast Eagles, they're only 2 laps behind the leader. 5th place is only 3 laps behind, so the top 5 covered by 3 laps. Absolutely anyone's race. So this is certainly up in the air, this race. This could be anyone's. Heat 4 of 8. So we go back, green racing. Man, this is going to be anyone's. Looking forward to seeing how this all plays out. When you've only got a few laps covering the top 5, it's exactly what you want to see. So there's now 3 laps covering the top 5. How good is that? Definitely not over. There's no way you'd put money on anyone just yet. As we approach the halfway mark of this one, we've seen how easy it is to get caught up in some carnage. Thankfully, there's been no real damage to cars. Everyone's done a great job. Plenty of drivers looking forward to. That's the main thing to do in this sort of class of racing, is you've really got to look forward while you're racing. Just so if anyone does come off, you've got a chance of either dodging the accident, slowing down, not getting involved, because the last thing you want to do is damage your own car. When you can see how close it is for this field, you know, just a simple off without hitting anything could be costly. When you're looking at 3 laps covering the top 5, it doesn't get much better than that. So here's our race leader at the moment. Noel currently behind the controller. In some clear air. He'd be pleased about that, I tell you. Just run his own race, just get himself into a rhythm. Started mischief. And they'll be going for the clean sweep here for round 3, just as they did for round 2. Brilliant stuff. Check out some battles a little bit further down the pack. These guys taking it to each other. This is good to watch. Check out the ball ring. Look how quick these guys are at the moment on the red lane. Of course, Ben behind the controller at the moment. He's been driving really well today. Got to be pleased with his performance. Him and Paige have been very much on the pace, making the effort to come all the way from New South Wales. So well done to those guys. Don't forget to check out the Bull Ring on Facebook. Those guys race every Thursday night, and they also do a stream as well, so you get to kick back and watch in your lounge room, watch those guys race over on the Bull Ring. Great layout, great racetrack, and well done to Pagey and everyone there. Put on a good show every Thursday. So make sure you check them out if you haven't already. So Ben showing some good pace on Red Lane. So we'll quickly run through the field. Narangba now in second. Only a lap in it. Ace Racing obviously still leading. Bullring in third. They're only 1.5 laps behind. So nothing in it between Narangba and Bullring. Battling out for the last step on the podium. Fourth place Gold Coast Eagles. They're only 4 laps behind. Same with Nikamoto. They're in fifth. They're only 4 laps behind as well. So awesome stuff. Top 5 covered by 4 laps. Brilliant. 3 minutes to go. Halfway mark of this race. These guys back in the pack here. Oh, it's getting full on under the bridge again. Looks like we managed to avoid the red flag. It's the most carnage we've seen all day underneath the bridge. Oh, rolled the car there. Getting a little bit congested here, a little bit for our leaders. Even though there's a lane split and there's a good little battle pack between these guys. Awesome to watch these guys putting on a great show. Up over the top of the bridge, into the final turn. Down the front straight. These guys battling it out too. So inside with, what do we got, 30 seconds to go before lane change as we head into heat 5 for the final class of racing here for round 3. Our leader, Ace Racing. Only a lap in it between them and Narangba. 2 laps in it between them and Bullring for third. 4 laps in it for fourth back to Nikamoto. And in fifth, 5 laps between them and the Gold Coast Eagles. So 5 laps between first and first. That's brilliant. As we approach lane change and head into heat 5. So good stuff. Still nice and close. Anyone's race. Be a brave man to call it from here. This will work in Ace's favour now. Because they're out of the gutter lanes. They'll start work in the middle of the racetrack. They now move to orange. And of course, that's where these guys have been fast enough as it is, regardless of what lane they're on. But now that they're in the middle, that'll really help them as far as trying to clinch and do a clean sweep and take out the win for Lexan GT3. So we get ready for heat 5. And about to get underway. Drivers and marshals just making their way around the track. And here we go. We're a car off there. The top there, just at the top of the bridge there. Managed to get away with it though. Didn't get caught up in any carnage. That's the main thing. So Ace Racing still leading this. We're going to track call. We've got a car in the infield, just where the start-finish line is. No, just at the front of the driver's stand, I should say. Sorry about that. As we get ready to go green again. Hard to retrieve the car from that spot. Just a quick clean of the tyres. As track goes green. Nice battle up here. A bit of racing side by side here. That's Pagey in the thick of it, trying to make his way through the field. Awesome little battle. Oh, side by side, got him into turn 1. Nice move. Now he's got some clear track. You can sort of knuckle down and start to pull away. It's a nice driving, Pagey. So hopefully you can pick up race control in the background. So heat 5 of 8, final class of racing here. We've got a track call. So cars just change lanes. Get that sorted. Back green again. Oh, side by side. Managed to get away with that. Great racing throughout the entire field, regardless of where they are for position. As we check this back pack here. Like I said, it's so close when it's covering the top 3 to 5 drivers. Run through it. Ace Racing obviously leading at the moment. Managed to get that lead out to 3 or 2.5 laps over Narangba. In second. In third, you got Bullring. They're only 2.5, 3 laps behind for the race leader as well in third. Fourth, Nikamoto. They've slipped back to about 6 laps behind. So just slowly, the front 3 or 4 are just starting to pull away a little bit. Of course, Werner looking very comfortable on the orange lane. So we follow him on track. There's a black car making his way through the field. And of course, now has a little bit of clear track in front of him again. They almost make it look easy, don't they? I say it almost makes it look easy, Werner, sometimes. He's a quick guy. He's been around stock cars for a long time. Good car preparation, does practice, and of course he's got home track advantage too. Him and Noel are a good combination. The top 3 are definitely taking it to him as we go into track call again. Good little battle back there as well. Find it out in the gutters. So under 2.5 minutes to go in heat 5 of 8 for round 3 of the Queensland GT Championships. Lexan GT3 on track. Right, again, just coming into a little bit of traffic at the moment. Another gaggle of cars again building. So go down the front straight. Warner's got some good pace here, utilising the beauty of the centre lanes. Car's got tremendous pace, really in the thick of it. He's just slowly starting to stretch his legs as they approach 1 minute to go in heat 5 of 8. So Ace Racing have now stretched their legs a little bit, got it out to 4 laps. Bullring now moved into 2nd place. 3rd, Narangba. 4th, Nikamoto. And rounding 85, Gold Coast Eagles. So again, it'll be another driver change as we head into heat 6. Ten seconds to go. It's still Ace Racing who lead into heat 6. As we go to lane change. So is anyone going to be able to do it? Anyone going to be able to stop Ace Racing? They've obviously been on fire today. Took out Scale Auto, dominant in Slotworks Porsche Cup, and now leading in GT3. As we head into Heat 6. Track goes green, no. Here we go. So Ace Racing now on the white lane. Got themselves a little bit of a margin though, 4 laps, that's quite handy. Again, team still, looks like we've got a car, cover a little bit of dramas there. Quick fix of the roads. So Heat 6 of 8. These guys really want to start putting pressure on Ace Racing if they want to get this win away from them. They've just slowly started to eke out those laps now. It was really close a couple of heats ago. Ace have got themselves about 4.5 lap lead at the moment over Bullring. There's only a lap between second and third, so Bullring and Narangba still fighting it out for second and third. Nikamoto in fourth. They're currently 8 laps behind our race leader. So again, fields spread out a little bit. Not too many close battles on track. Comes the Bullring guys starting to make their way through the field. Oh, hard mouth stuff here. Oh. There's your car through there nicely. Very well done. A fast car, the Bullring guys. Definitely making the most of blue lane at the moment. Bit of clear racetrack. Going through the rest of the field here. Again, everyone's pretty much spread out. Great racing all the way up and down the field. Has been all day, actually. Credit to everyone involved. Been a great day's racing throughout 3 classes. This is the final class of racing for today for round 3 of the Queensland GT Championships. Oh, carnage there. Just managed to catch the end of that. So coming up to 3.5 minutes left of heat 6 of 8 for Lexan GT3. Nice and close here, this battle pack. Awesome to watch. These guys really having a go. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast wherever you're watching around Australia, around the world. For round 3 of the Queensland GT Championships. Live here and exclusive to Slot Screen TV. Good to have slot car racing here live from be able to watch it wherever you're watching. Starting to become a thing now. We're broadcasting slot car racing. It's a lot of the local tracks are doing streams of their own straight to Facebook. It's a great way of growing our sport, introducing it to a whole new row of people. More importantly, if there's anyone that's watching wherever you are around Australia, there's plenty of tracks around. You can get involved as well. You can start racing. You never know if you're a local, even if you're not. You can travel interstate like the guys from New South Wales have done for this weekend, and you could be taking part in round 4. We'd love to have you along. So inside 2 minutes to go. A little bit dicey here with these guys. Ben for Boring, he's really tearing it up, making the most of that blue lane. Really quick, making his way through the field. Good to see. Hasn't been short on pace all weekend, Ben, so well done, mate. Him and Pagey both drove exceptional this weekend. Touched on their bad luck throughout the day. But nevertheless, they're right in the thick of it now. Check the paddle pack behind Ben. 3 cars going at it. So inside 30 seconds to go. As we head into heat 7. Through the S's. Into the final turn. As we get ready for lane change. Heat 7 of 8.
Lane change. Going into the second last bracket. Magic to green, Ace to red, Moto to blue, Turtles to white, Boring to purple, Eagles to orange, Shrink Short to black, and Rainbow to yellow. Good out the front, Ace, 383 laps. Second, Boring, 379 laps. Third, Rainbow.
So only 2 more heats to go for the final class GT3. You can see on the screen, so you may have heard from Race Control. Ace Racing still leading at the moment. Over second place, Bullring. 4 laps in it between first and second. So they did stretch their legs a little bit in the last couple of frames. Last couple of heats, I should say. And Rangbar now 8 laps down. As we get ready for heat 7. underway. The car stationary on the front straight. So we're just finding out what's going on there. Back to green. Might have been just a car issue there, unfortunately. Oh, big carnage at the top of the hill there. It's been the hot spot today, isn't it? Top of the bridge. Underneath the bridge. We haven't seen that much carnage all weekend. Again, the field sort of spread itself out a little bit. Our team's off. Is that Rickshaw Racing that's off at the moment? Just quickly doing some repairs. Don't know if it's a braid or a guide issue. They're now back on track. Which is the light blue car that we'll follow here. That's Rickshaw Racing. So they managed to fix that, which is good. But it is still Ace Racing doing it up front. Doing a great job. You may be able to hear race control in the background. So heat 7 of 8. Time slowly ticking away for these guys to make any chance of improvements, trying to chase down Ace Racing. They've really been the team to beat today. And of course got themselves a bit of a 4-lap lead at the moment. With only sort of almost 1.5 brackets to go. Well done to everyone who was involved today. Really put on a great show. But it seems to be really going in their favour. Ace Racing taking it up. Like I said, they dominated round 2. Took out the River City 12-hour. Have pretty much picked up where they left off of taking out the win in Scale Auto, which was our opening class. Dominated Slotworks Porsche Cup. And of course now the GT3 class, Lexan GT3 to finish out the day. Noel and Werner have been in a class of their own. And just now, just slowly starting to pull out that gap now. It's about 5.5 laps now between first and second. There was a time throughout the early part of this race where 4 or 5 laps covered almost the entire field. So just starting to stretch their legs as we head into 3.5 minutes to go into heat 7. And then the final heat. So great stuff from everyone involved. Check through the field. Winners managed to get through that bit of traffic. Geez, looks so fast through those S's. Might stick with this camera just for a moment just to see how quick they come through there. Really great when you see a car all hooked up. Sometimes you expect to see a lot more carnage in this turn just because of how quick it is, but man, they're really dialed in through that section of the racetrack. Really great to watch. Oh, close there, some carnage at the end there. Managed to get going again. So as we approach the 2 minute mark to go in heat 7 of 8 for the final class of racing, GT3 here for round 3 of the Queensland GT Championships.
Into this bracket, going into the last bracket, Ace to green, Turtle to red, Magic to blue, Eagles to white, Mickey Moto to purple, Narangba to orange, Bullring to black, and Rickshaw yellow.
So race control just updating the drivers and teams with the standings. But I think this is pretty much going to go in the way of Ace Racing again. Looking to do a clean sweep today. Now edge that margin out to 6 laps. Top of the bridge has caused us grief again. Oh, again down the end. Everyone managed to get away with that. Inside a minute to go as we head in to the final heat of GT3. So 30 seconds to go. Ace Racing doing it quite comfortably now. Good to see them challenging up against a team from New South Wales. They've been a strong unit. Obviously had some bad luck, as we touched on, getting caught up in some incidents, but those guys have done a great job as we head into lane change for our final heat of the day.
Lane change going into the last bracket. Ace to green, Turtle to red, Magic to blue, Eagles to white, Mickey Moto to purple, Narangba to orange, Bullring to black, and Rickshaw to yellow. Still leading the pack, Ace on 4:46 seconds. Bullring 4:40, maintaining 6 laps. Narangba in third on 4:38. Fourth is Mickey Moto on 4:37. Fifth, Queensland Eagles 4:35. Magic in sixth place on 4:23. Seventh is Rickshaw on 4:03. And Turtle chasing everybody on 3:83.
So as we prepare for the final heat, Ace Racing looking to take the clean sweep. The Werner's not quite comfortable here. Well, I think he's got it in the bag. It's got a nice little margin at the moment. So he's got 6 laps up his sleeve. I think he's fairly safe. Oh, a big carnage off the end of the track. Car ended up on the floor. Just checking the cars back on track. We are green again. Always tricky when the car ends up on the floor. Good little battle back here. Our leader just really wants to stay out of trouble. Car off at the end there, just getting put back behind the lane. There we go. Looks like might be struggling a little bit. We've got some issues there. That was Rickshaw Racing. They had some dramas earlier. So the final heat, 6.5 minutes to go. And that will conclude racing here from River City Slot Cars. It's been a great day of racing over 3 classes. Scale Auto, Slotworks Porsche, and of course now Lexan GT3. Really been some awesome racing. As dominant as Ace Racing has been, it's been so good to see some of the action throughout this race. Very close up until the halfway point of this race, where we had 4 or 5 laps covering the top 5. But it's only in the last few heats that Ace Racing has really stretched its legs. Now got themselves a 7-lap lead now over the guys from New South Wales Bullring. They'll be looking to cement second after 2 third places today in the first 2 rounds. Of course, first 2 heats, I should say, with classes with Scale Auto and Porsche Cup. But it's not over yet. There's 7 or 7.5 laps about behind our leader. And they've got about a lap and a half up on over Narangba. So it's going to be close between those two, because Narangba is working orange and Bullring's in on the black lane. And there's only about a lap or so in it between these two, battling it out for second and third. They've pretty much wrapped up the podium with about 5 minutes to go, you would imagine, barring anything unforeseen. Because they've got themselves a couple of laps up their sleeve. Maybe 2 laps or so up their sleeve. Just to hold on to the podium for Narangba. But it's Narangba and Bullring. That's the battle to watch. Oh, carnage up the end there.
Coming up to the halfway mark of the last bracket. Still out in front, Ace Racing, 477. Second, Bullring, 469. Third, Narangba, 468.
Tell you what, it's going to be close. For second and third. There's still about a lap or so in it. Bullring guys lapping around 7.6. Narangba guys 7.5. They need to be going a lot quicker than that. So I think the Bullring guys have done enough to hold on to second. Even though there's still a lap or so in it, I think they're looking good to take out P2. Only a 10th or 2 in it, though, in saying that, the Bullring guys have just had an off. I don't think that's going to be enough to... Won't cost them the position. So the battle there, the white car on the inside. That's Ben from Bullring. Think they're going to do enough to hold on to second. Really been in the thick of it all day. Car looks good. Car looks fast too. So approaching about a minute and a half to go.
Still leading on 498. Second, Bullring 490. Third is Rangba 489. Fourth, Nikimoto 487.
So as we approach the 1 minute mark, Ace Racing looking to take the clean sweep. Bullring's going to do enough to hold on to second. Brilliant drive from them. Still got a lap up their sleeve. Narangba, they're going to hold on for third. Brilliant racing. Inside 30 seconds. We've got 30 seconds to go now. We'll see the cars coming. Oh, car off into the wall. So another great race from Ace Racing. Taking out the clean sweep, just as they did in round 2 here in round 3. Winning Scale Auto, Slotworks Porsche Cup, and now Lexan GT3. We get ready, another car into the wall. Chicken flag time. So that's it. A brilliant drive from Ace Racing. Taking the clean sweep here for round 3 of the Queensland GT Championships. Well done. Taking our Slotworks Porsche Cup, Scale Auto, and now Lexan GT3. So well done. Top effort from Bullring, taking out second place. And in third, Narangba. Awesome job from them. Nikimoto in fourth. In fifth, Gold Coast Eagles. In sixth, Magic. Seventh, Rickshaw Racing. And rounding out your 8 is Team Turtle.
Thanks, Steve. Well done.
So that's it. A brilliant drive from all our drivers. Great day of racing. 3 classes for round 3. It's been a lot of fun. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed themselves. But a dominant race from Ace Racing. Dominant day. As we let the teams and drivers just have a quick chat amongst themselves. Brilliant day of racing. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thanks, guys. Great day of racing. I'll put the results in the next couple of days, and we'll plan for our next event. See that again. The next big race is going down at the Bullring for Bathurst in July. About 5 weeks' time.
So before the drivers get away, we will quickly catch up with them. Let's see if we can chat with Andrew and Simon from Narangba. I'm going to have a chat to you boys. Congratulations, P3, well done.
Yeah, we got up another one this time. Well done, yes. Right.
Made up for the dramas you had in the last race, so that was good.
Yes, it did. Yep.
Anyway, Simon, how was your drive, mate? It was good to get a result.
Yes, it was, and I guess I'd probably thanks to my team, you know, and all the guys back at the factory, you know, they put a lot of hard work into it, of course, to get the car where it is. So really great. And I'd just like to thank my sponsors, Narangba Raceway. They've been a great support over the years, and if they didn't have them, we wouldn't be here today either. But so, yeah, it's a good result. Thanks.
Good job, boys. Thanks, mate. Thoroughly enjoyed the race. You have to talk to those grub screw guys, though, about the car. Yeah, I have to pull their head in for that. That was good. Now we're going to find the guys from Bullring. Pagey and Ben. Just over here, we'll find Pagey. Pagey, P2, mate. Well done.
Yeah, I know. Who would have thought that? You know? Buddy, we had Narangba coming at us like a rocket ship, but we managed to keep the two old buddies rocket ship drivers behind us. So yeah, they were due a good win, a good result. Narangba boys had bad luck in the first two races, so it was good to see them on the podium. But I liked the result.
P2's no fluke though. You and Ben have been quick all day.
Oh, Ben especially. I just tried to be as consistent and try not to let him down. Ben's been really good. I've been okay, and you know the results are very happy to come away with 3 podiums, a couple of thirds, and now a second. So awesome, really good.
Well, good job, mate. Appreciate you making the trek from New South Wales. And, of course, we've been giving the plug to everyone at home to make sure they check out the Bull Ring, because you guys race every Thursday and, of course, stream all your races. So everyone will no doubt be looking forward to that.
Appreciate that. And, yeah, the Bull Ring, we have a lot of fun. We're a pretty strong club, probably the strongest club in the country. We get 20, 21 drivers on a Thursday night on average. A great bunch of fellows. Anyone wants to come and join in, just flick us a message. But yeah, hopefully we get you down there, Steve. It'd be awesome to have you down there, mate. So yeah.
Love to. All right.
Thanks just for everything you've done, Slotstream, for putting this all on. As now a amateur broadcaster, I know the work that goes into it. So yeah, well done, buddy.
I appreciate it. Thanks, mate. And Ben, before you run away, good drive, mate. P2, well done.
Yeah, thanks, mate. It was all right. Worked out okay. So, car had speed, just not as fast as Ace. Obviously, weren't as 7.2s in a couple of lanes. Like, that's just crazy. But yeah, it's good.
Home track advantage helps those guys, but that's a top effort for you guys that don't race here every week. Obviously, making the trek from New South Wales, but it's good that you guys make the effort. But you guys are always on pace, and so the second place shouldn't be too much of a surprise.
Yeah, that's probably a little bit of a wrap, but yeah, I mean, we know coming up here we're in for a fight. So I mean, you look at the results and look how close they are. So I'm just pleased that we're really the only non-Plafit car in the field. So to sort of pedal it to where we are is we've got nobody developing it. So no, it's good, result I think. So made it a good trip. What did we get? 2 thirds and a second. So can't be unhappy with that. Yeah, thank you.
Good stuff, mate. We'll see you, no doubt, the Bull Ring. You guys stream every Thursday, so well done. Now, where's our winners? Where's Noel? Noel, I'm going to annoy you, mate. Clean sweep, round 3, just like you did round 2.
Yeah, I suppose it's a little bit lucky for us. There was a lot of fast drivers there. We got a bit of a lead first up. We started on blue, which was a fast lane. We were able to keep the momentum going on purple and black. If you can come out on black near the lead or on the lead, you will do well through the race, which we did in the end. So yeah, great to have the second three-peat, I suppose. We'll get some three-peat t-shirts made up. And yeah, we'll do it all again in probably 5 or 6 weeks time. It's a tough gig, like to win 3 on the day, extremely difficult because there's so many good drivers and fast cars. But you got to keep your car out of the crashes and keep it straight and just stay out of the mess. That's the simplest way to do it, to be honest.
It's no fluke between you and Werner either, because we were talking about it throughout the broadcast yesterday. There was only 2 teams really here doing practice. That was you guys and the Bull Ring. So it's not a fluke that you guys are up the front.
No, and you've got to do that. If you want to win the big races, you've got to put in the time of practice. A lot of teams and a lot of drivers do not like practicing. They find it boring. They find it tedious. It's probably my favourite part because it's not only practice, it's car setup. It's changing the little things. They all add up. All the little half and 1%ers add up to 3 or 4%. And that's the end. At the end of the day, when you win a race by 3 laps, that's 3%. You know, that's the best thing to do. You know, practice.
Well done, mate. I'm going to catch up with your teammate here as well, the other part of the team. Mate, congratulations, the Queen Sweep.
Thanks. Yeah. It was another rather easy one. So yeah, we could control it from the front.
that's always the best thing when you have this situation. So yeah, very enjoyable.
Your cars looked so fast all day, regardless of what class of racing we did. Comes down to car preparation and practice as well.
Yes, exactly what Noel already said. You have to put in the hours and the enthusiasm to get everything out of the car and out of yourself as well. So yeah.
All right, congratulations, mate. You guys did a great job. Well done. Top effort. Well deserved. Well, that's about it. We're just going to wrap up round 3 of the GT Championship. Thank you very much for everyone who tuned in, whether you are watching around Australia or around the world. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and hopefully we'll be able to bring you some more racing here live and exclusive to Slotstream TV. We know our next guaranteed broadcast is in November 15. We've got a huge meeting here from River City Slot Cars. It's going to be the Australian Plaffer Championships. It's a huge weekend. A 3-day broadcast. There's going to be that many classes and that many drivers taking part. It should be absolutely awesome. But we're going to wrap things up now here. Thank you very much for everyone who tuned in, all the drivers and everyone here at River City. It's been absolutely awesome. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you all next time.